I'm Wendy Gallion. I'm the owner of Thrive for Life Counseling, an Indianapolis-based, solely virtual and private pay counseling practice with clinicians based here in Indianapolis and across the U.S. In 2016, I had an idea to build a virtual private practice to make mental health services accessible to more people across the U.S. and to make it more convenient for them. At that time, many of my colleagues scoffed at me, but I was convinced that this was a way that more clients could reach services that otherwise they would not be able to. Armed with the limited research that was available at the time about telemental health services, and with the laws for my current state and my governing body, which in this case would be the National Association of Social Workers, I opened Thrive for Life Counseling. I was shocked by the positive response in those early days and that first year. We went from earning $400 in that first month to well over six figures a year. I added licensure in Indiana, Illinois, and Florida, but quickly discovered that I could not keep up with the demand for clients who desired virtual counseling services. Then the pandemic hit in early 2020, and I decided it was time to expand Thrive for Life Counseling into a group practice. Thrive is now a team with 5 staff members, and we're continuing to grow into other states. Even by adding to my team, I could not keep up with the demand. To aid in this need, I began offering consulting services to clinicians just like you who are looking for ways to maybe open their own private practice or to convert their existing practices into a more virtual one. I have a deep desire in my heart to serve others. I want to empower counselors to build their dream practices to allow for flexibility and freedom, and to expand access to quality mental health services for clients across the United States. It has brought me so much joy to see these practices spring to life from Hawaii to Alaska and California to New York. Clinicians often ask me several questions that come up all the time. They ask, is it possible to have a 6-figure private practice with overhead costs that are less than $20 a month? Yes, it is possible. Can I have a private practice in 30 days? Yes, you can start this from the ground up and in less than a month be up and running. Do I have to accept insurance? Nope. You can run a solely private pay practice and have a full caseload. Can I maintain a private practice and travel? Absolutely you can. While I value self-care and time off, I have successfully continued to see clients while I've traveled with my family. We've gone overseas, in an RV out west, and even to the beach, just overlooking the ocean and being able to continue to do this job that I love. So before clinicians begin to work with me, I like to familiarize them with 6 key steps to help them quickly start an ethical and legal private practice. And I want to share these with you as well. First step is always to check with the laws governing your state in regard to telemental health services. Prior to the pandemic, some states had very few laws governing this. And thankfully, one of the positives of this trying last few months, this last year and a half, has been the addition of some legislation around the need for telemental health services and how to do that legally per state, as well as checking into your governing body. For me, that's an ASW, but that will vary obviously depending upon your licensure. Step 2 is going to be to check your liability insurance. First, if you don't have any, it's time to get a policy. Next, you're going to want to make sure that it covers telemental health services. Your third step is going to be informed consent. If you've done any work before in private practice, you're familiar with the informed consent forms. And the basic form is a good starting point, but for telemental health services, there's some other key differences that we need to make sure that we're including to protect ourselves and our clients. And so I've got some great examples of these on my website. Step 4 is going to be products. What are you going to use to see your clients? And this can include email, video, phone, billing, all of these different mediums that we need to utilize in order to meet the needs of our clients. You're going to want to make sure that each product you select has a BAA, which is going to be a signed agreement between you and that product. From there, You can then begin to practice with these different modalities and see how this is going to work for you and your clients. Ultimately, I want you to pick the ones that are going to be the most user-friendly for you and for your client. Step 5 is about insurance billing. Are you going to bill insurance? Do you want to be solely private pay? Do you want to do some sort of a hybrid model? All of this is possible. And now finally, after all of those steps, you're ready to see clients, which I think for most of us is what we're most passionate about doing. And so with step 6, you're going to assess your clients for appropriateness. Not every client that you see is going to be appropriate for telemental health. And so before you would go beyond an initial consultation, I want you to think about some of these key areas, such as, does the client understand all of the mediums available to them and how to use them? Do they have adequate access to internet? Are there any cultural or language barriers? Suicidal or homicidal intent? Are they experiencing an acute psychiatric disorder? Or are they currently in an abusive relationship? Any of these would be red flags that we would need to pause and potentially refer this client out for a better form of care. Well, that's a lot of information. And so I don't want to overwhelm you further. Please go to my website, thriveforlifecounseling.com, where I have a list of resources under the consulting tab that will expound further upon these different areas. I'm hopeful this will give you enough information to get you started safely, securely, legally, and ethically on your journey toward a private practice that's virtual and that provides you with freedom and flexibility. If you have additional questions, need any support in the future, please feel free to reach out to me. There's certainly lots of other things that we need to do in regard to these initial 6 steps, but then other pieces of the private practice puzzle, including credentialing, website, marketing, EHRs, passive income, continuing education. All of these areas can look a little bit different for those of us that are practicing via telemental health. I would love to help you make this transition into online practice because I think you will love it and your clients are going to love it. With me, there are no commitments, no contracts. Instead, we simply schedule sessions that work within your schedule to meet your needs and help you to get your practice off the ground. Remember, we're in this together, and I'm here with you every step along the way. Thanks so much.